Module 1, why find your passion is the stumbling block to your career success. At the beginning of the book, I think the first thing that hit me, and if you've gone through it, is when I talked about being in prison. And it was a personal experience about the limitations that I had while I was in the UK. No job, difficult, very, very difficult to get a job, limitations regarding what I'm allowed to do and not allowed to do, um, legal approaches that we have tried, and how that really kind of almost suffocated whatever effort I was putting in school, starting from A levels all the way to university and even after. But that's my unique experience. The truth is, you have your own unique experiences too. And it may not be something that is location specific, but there are limitations everywhere, especially within a career context, whether it's lack of education, too much education, not having opportunities, uh, social challenges, equality. I mean, there are such a huge, there are so many things that are suppressing people's mid-career professionals' ability to really achieve success, meaningful success at work. But here's the thing. This isn't just about you. The limitations aren't just about the limitations that you have or that are peculiar to you or that are caused by what you have or what you don't have. No, things beyond your control can also limit you. The pandemic is an example. It really brought some industries to a grinding halt. The hospitality industry is probably one of the more ones that were affected. So even if someone, think about it this way, even if someone is passionate about hospitality, the effect of the pandemic causes that person to maybe lose their job, lose their source of income, lose their business, find it hard to make ends meet to provide for their family, even though they're passionate. And that's the big challenge that we're facing right now, that there are forces beyond your control, beyond my control, that are creating limitations and challenging the foundation of whatever it is that Find Your Passion has been built on. And those limitations are threatening anyone who agrees with that ideology to really succeed at work. Another example is the future of work. Are you ready for the future of work? According to the World Economic Forum, there is an extensive report that has been released actually a few years now, but there's also one that was released in October this year that brings to light just the nature of how, if you were not preparing today for the future of work, the limitations that would come would be so far beyond anything that we can already prepare for. Your passion would not be enough. I've put a slide here which is about the job landscape, and by 2025, new jobs will emerge, and others will be displaced by a shift in the division of labor between humans and machines. And they've listed a few industries that are likely to be affected, right? Growing job demand, so are in the fields of data analysis and data scientists, artificial intelligence and machine learning specialists, big data specialists, digital marketing and strategy specialists, process automation, business development specialists, digital transformation, information security, Internet of Things, software and application developers. Of course, much more tech driven, but sales, marketing, business development, product managers, those industries are still also seeing a growing job demand. However, there are some industries that are seeing a decrease in job demand. Data entry clerks, administratives, accounting, bookkeeping, payroll clerks, accountants, and auditors assembly factory workers, business services, admin managers, client information, general and operation managers. They list a whole lot of industries. Quick question. If those industries that have decreasing job demand is the one that you are passionate about, then it's okay to be passionate about that. But the reality is your ability to succeed in your career in the near future will be very limited. This is another reason where passion is being taken out of that career success equation. Instead, we need to start developing the skills, we need to start developing the expertise. We need to start bringing much more than passion to the table because the world needs us right now. And your idea that, again, don't let me jump ahead of myself, but I've just shown you two examples of how there are external forces that are limiting or that are creating limitations that is challenging the idea of find your passion is a key ingredient to how you can succeed at work. And I'm saying it is not. Yeah, it is not an ingredient. It shouldn't even be an ingredient at all in the world that we live in today. Should people still follow their passion and find their passion? Absolutely. And I will talk about that shortly. Absolutely. But when it comes to generating income, it shouldn't be one of your key factors. There are other things that are very, very important and you need to pay attention to. How is money moving? We are now operating in the economy of purpose, not the economy of passion. Money will stop moving to the length of time you dedicate, like in a normal employment, but in the measurable value that you create. So money will stop moving to the length of time you dedicate, like in a normal employment, but in the measurable value that you create. This is all about value. Earlier, I mentioned that people do not pay for passion, they pay for skills and value that you bring. Okay, so skills and value systems are integral or are crucial to achieving success in your career. Many people in the world hate their job and especially their boss. Okay, this is actually a report by uh, Gallup. So this is a Gallup research, and when we say many people, as high as 85%, 85% of people hate their job and especially their boss. That's a lot. And the impact is these people become disengaged from work. Much more than that, these people um, then start looking for greener pastures. But imagine if 85% are already in the state, it's the same 85% that are trying to move around, which means that there is fundamentally um, a problem with how we are seeing what really should keep people in a job, in a career to keep delivering. The idea that it's probably better somewhere else or chasing that on ending a push towards find your passion, it's really dangerous because it creates a lot of disengaged employees or a lot of disengaged workers. Here's the challenge. The challenge is no one has taken the time to show you and I, how to succeed in a job that we are not passionate about. Once we stop being passionate about a job, we go into a complaining, disengaged mode, and we just whine and complain and complain and complain until either we change jobs or the reality of our existence in terms of the bills we need to pay keeps us in that job, but we're truly not happy. Okay? And the challenge is no one has shown us how to succeed in that job, even if you're not passionate about it. So you're always looking for another job, always looking for another career, always looking for another opportunity, and importantly, always discontented with where you are. Always discontented with where you are. Once you are discontented with where you are, it limits your ability to truly deliver value. A question that might come to your mind is, why are employees engaged or disengaged? What factors actually contribute to which side people eventually find themselves? In a blog post by Reich.com, which referenced quite a lot of research and stuff is done, these are the top reasons why employees are engaged. So why are employees engaged? For the 15%, remember we talked about 18% that don't like their work, don't like their boss, and typically the majority of them will become disengaged. Now, these 15% that are engaged, these are some of the traits that they have. They enjoy their role and work. And you could easily spot that there is a passion element there. They really enjoy what they are doing. And that's interesting and also good to know that there is a small set of people who truly find themselves earning income, delivering value, being experts in an area that they are truly passionate about. And that's great, but it's a small minority, but it's good. Another thing we know about them is employees that are engaged, they collaborate well with the people they work with. They understand how their work contributes to overall company. They are engaged because they feel that their boss recognizes their work. They believe in the company's mission. Company has a great culture. They have the tools and the resources and the support they need to execute their task and their work. They feel fairly compensated for their work. Their workload is well balanced. They have a clear growth path and opportunities for career development, and their CEO is motivating and inspiring. Okay, just in that order. But you can see the at the very top is the fact that they enjoy their work, they collaborate well with the people they work with, and they understand how their work contributes to the overall company. Now, let's have a look at the employees that are disengaged. Why are employees disengaged? The bulk of employees that are disengaged, we already talked about that number, they feel like their work is undervalued or unrecognized. Top priority. And then followed by they are not making enough money, and then followed by they are burnt out from being overworked, and then they don't have a clear path to grow their skills or career. Do you see a difference here that the employees that are disengaged, who majority of the world or the majority of the advice comes to say find your passion, maybe taking a cue from the employees that are engaged, right? And they say, well, if you want to be engaged, find your passion. Actually, when they ask those employees that are disengaged, passion did not come to the top of the reasons why they are disengaged. Do you see that? Instead, it's the fact that their work is undervalued, i.e., the skill set they have, the expertise they have, nobody's recognizing it. Nobody's paying attention to it. Nobody is giving it the value, the attention, the light of day that it deserves. So they are putting in so much effort, but that effort is not being recognized. Those people, employees that are disengaged, are actually not happy that their skills, talent, expertise is not being put to use. Not because of passion. No, no, no. It's the fact that what they bring to the table is not being used. Very closely following that is when what you bring to the table is not being used, you are almost automatically not valued well. You're not paid well. That's it. Money becomes an issue. When money becomes an issue, it feels like you're being overworked and there is no path to, again, can you see that? No clear path to grow the skills, no clear path to become an expert, no clear path to be better at your job. So, actually, when we look at it, the bulk of employees that are disengaged are struggling to make an impact in their job with their skills and expertise, not because of their passion. So, this tells us that to succeed at work, you need to fix the basics. And the basics is about bringing value, bringing your skills, bringing your expertise, and showcasing that in a way that it would command respect, it would command value, it would command a higher pay, and you can continue to grow and to improve your expertise. This is amazing. So when people say follow your passion so that you can be successful at work, what they should be saying is do a better job. And I know there are many reasons why people may not be doing well at work, but clearly, based on employees that are disengaged, it feels like solving the skills problem is a priority, not solving the passion problem. So how do we get 85% of employees that are clearly disengaged, that are looking for validation, that are looking to bring their skills, their expertise and bringing so much more value? What can they do to overcome this rut and this challenge that they have? And this is where we go into the next module where I talk through the framework, the passionless framework, the three things that you need to pay attention to really start becoming successful at work, even if you are not passionate about the work or the job that you do.